Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Precious and this is Precious Reads. Today I will be reviewing A Deal with the Elf King by Elise Kova that I recently completed. It was released on the 6th of November and it is a Hades and Persephone, Beauty and the Beast retelling. It also gave me a lot of Uprooted vibes, which I enjoyed because I love Naomi Novik's Uprooted as well as Spinning Silver. These like strong, determined women in these fairy tale-esque worlds. So in this fairy tale world, we are introduced to the normal world where every 100 years or so, the elf king comes to this town and takes a wife, a bride, a human queen back to the elf kingdom, where he, rules with her, where she supplies magic to keep all of their worlds alive. These worlds, there's like 3 different main worlds that I think are separated. There's the dead world, the elf world, as well as the normal world or the human world. And we meet Lula, who thinks that she's missed the she's missed her chance and is free from becoming married to the elf king. First of all, she doesn't show any magical powers, which is one of the attributes that one has to have in order to be taken by the elf king to become his wife or queen. And she is older than most girls that are taken by the elf king. She is 19 years old. Later on in the story, we find out that her magic was actually hidden from the world by Luke. I hated that guy from the beginning of the story. I think a lot of us did, but yeah, her powers are hidden, and she is then her powers are revealed to exist when the elf king comes to the normal world to get his human queen after waiting more than was required, because the balance between the worlds is fracturing and is not quite as equal as it should be. So Lula is transformed or transferred to the elf kingdom, where she has to now adjust to her new life and her new world. But one thing that I did enjoy about the character of Lula was that she was independent, she was feisty, she was a go-getter, and she wasn't just simply going to let her dreams and everything that she worked for just disappear. It did become a hindrance for her during the book, because yes, some of us are, you're single-minded and you have to sort of adjust to the new way of things, and that happens to Lula. I loved this book. The magic systems were pretty interesting. I loved Lula's magical powers, as well as they say, like the elf king and the human queen. Their powers are sort of the opposites to each other, and we find out that they work also really well together. The characters of Rennie Hook, who's a wolf, so cute. Willow, who is a herbologist or a healer in the elf kingdom, as well as Aldous, the elf king. He was, sort of a sheltered young man who didn't really enjoy the life as a young person should, because he was always like hidden from the world and kept away from other people and didn't really have many friends. So he's always been this confined individual, as well as Rennie, who is a god and second in command to the High King. It was really, really good. It was just an enjoyable fairy tale-esque book that you can just snuggle up with, especially coming to the festive season. It's just so beautiful and beautifully written. The world, you see the changes of the world when you first go into the elf kingdom. First of all, she had this idea of what the elf kingdom was and how elves lived and were eternal and whatever, and she finds that things are not exactly as they seem, and there's werewolves, there's vampires in this world, but they don't work in the same way that we used to. They're slightly different. We have the Fae, we have the elves. The Fae are sort of like the bad guys, but they're trying to keep their own world alive at the same time. And Harrow is one of my favorite characters as well, who is the brother of the elf king. eldest. And this was really, really, really beautifully written, beautifully executed. I will say it did drag like to the end. Let's say like 60% through, it did drag with a lot of like information and info dumping, but yeah, you just stick with it. It's really, really beautiful, and I would love to see other characters get books. It says it's a standalone, but there's a book 2 coming out in November 2021, so another standalone in the same world, I hope. So I'm very excited for that. I would suggest this book to anybody who just wants a light-hearted, romantic Beauty and the Beast retelling, Hades and Persephone retelling, and similar to Uprooted in the way that people's ideas about the elf king and the elf world and what the human queen actually has to do. So yeah, that was my review for the Deal with the Elf King by Elise Kova. I hope you pick it up. I hope you enjoy it. It's available on Kindle Unlimited, so go and grab it.